I can't do IAS 12. It's very hard. It's just not made for me. I don't think I'll even clear the FR exam now. If you're also one of them, let me decode this for you. You do not have to learn every single line out there related to the income tax, the study text that is actually very complicated sometimes for students to understand. So it is best off if you know what type of questions will be asked based on the past paper practice, and based on that only you make your preparation strategy. Simple. So speaking of this, usually the type of questions that are asked are related to over or under provision. So there will be some credit balance given in the trial balance. Credit balance means last year there has been extra income tax charged and you have to reverse it this year. So you will pass a credit entry in the income tax expense. That means you'll basically reduce the income tax expense and you also reduce your tax liability. Simple. And it is the other way around for the debit balance in the trial balance. If there's a debit balance, that means you have to increase your tax liability to that extent. Simple, guys. For tax is a concept many people fail to understand. So this is another topic that is covered in this. It's not that complicated. It's just that in the future date, you are expected to pay a tax amount. Okay. What you are passing in your books and what the tax authorities are passing in their books are two different figures. Sometimes they make an expense allowable. That means they recognize it. Sometimes they don't. So because of that, there is a temporary difference created. As simple as that. Now this temporary difference can reverse in the future date, maybe in few years time. And either it will end up with you paying the tax because you didn't recognize it on today's date. You have deferred it for the future. So you'll recognize it you'll pay the tax on a future date. So that will be a deferred tax liability, of course. Or it will end up with you recognizing a deferred tax asset today. That means in the future you don't have to pay the tax amount. So this is a situation very much tested. For example, you will be given some tax losses, unused tax losses in the question, and you will be probably asked to carry forward, and you will have to see up to what extent do you have the taxable profits and all of that. So mainly this is SBR topic, but just to give an example, if you have enough taxable profits in the future, if it is very certain as per the question that you have enough taxable profits, that means you can clearly recognize that as a deferred tax asset because you have enough taxable profits against which you can recognize the unused losses. One more scenario which I forgot to cover is a deferred tax associated to your revaluation gains. That's for sure going to be tested in the exam. There will be a scenario where you will be given deferred tax associated to revaluation gains and all of that calculation. So for sure you should be aware of that and how to do that. So it's just that your asset base will be more than the tax base, and therefore the tax authorities will expect you to pay tax in the future, not now, in the future when you sell the asset, and therefore that deferred tax will come on the revaluation gain. If you found this useful, please do like and share and follow for more. Okay, bye.